And cue sound effect. Yeah. But anyway, so I was actually planning on not making this video because I had a lot of fun really picking the music that I was for this. But hey, a lot of you guys seem to really like it anytime I jib-jab and jabber on about dumb shit, so let's go ahead and do it. So hey, we're fighting Lilias, Senya, and Ran, and fucking RNL happens. So here in which is where a lot of the fuckery also begins to happen. You know how I was talking about the only things that really kind of fuck you over on this team? It's mainly anytime the speed tuning's all fucked up, and then like the Lilias can go beforehand, and also because red just so happens to beat blue because LOL, what is element disadvantage? Right here I've already resigned to my fact that Elena's gonna fucking die. But one thing in particular that I'm going to bring up real quick. We actually could have survived this if we had slightly better gear, and I do mean slightly. But I'll bring that up whenever we actually get to it. So hey, turn 1, Ran does his shit. Things happen, we go ahead and protect with Elena. Elena's about to die, but then it go on to Lone Crescent Bellona's turn, use S3, kill Ran, so now we don't have to deal with that fucker anymore. And now, here comes, like, some of the interesting shit right here. If we had even a little bit, even a tiny little bit more speed that was on Lone Crescent Bellona right here, and also I clearly fucking hit Lilias right there. I don't know why the fuck that attack went on to Senya. Whatever, hey, what is hitboxes? But basically, if Lone Crescent Bellona had even a little bit of speed, just a little bit, where she would take that turn beforehand, then we could have just straight up killed the Senya right then and there, because we had attack buff, we had vigor. Should have been really enough to really kill her. Anytime that wouldn't kill is if, you know, the Senya had a lot of HP. But hey, whatever. What's done is done. But hey, let's go into yet another team that's going to be pretty trivial effort for Big Mac Daddy martial artist Ken. So hey, Conqueror Lilias, Choux, and then Navy Captain Landy. What do? Well, we naturally grab the bane of Conqueror Lilias AI formats, Moon Bunny Dominiel, going ahead and do our shit. Hey, free skill null. Hey, free immunity. And use the S3 for free motherfucking attack buff. Now, we'll go in with Unbound Arowell, who's there strictly for the escort damage reduction. That is literally the only reason why she's there, because if she's not there, if you're running a thermonuclear Ken, you may not have enough actual, like, you know, survivability. That's the main reason why she's there. We'll go for the stun on the Conqueror Lilias, just because, hey, whatever. Now it's Ken's turn. Oh, cool, would you look at that? Everything's fucking dead except for Navy Captain, who has Death Break, along with a Death Buff. Well, last I checked, you're fucking dead anyway. So, hey, that was the first round. Boy, oh boy, aren't we having fun. Get fucking ready. So, the first team in general, okay, this isn't really so bad. This is actually pretty simple. It's standard stuff that I've done before, like, actually, I think it was on the last video that we did it anyway. A lot of people are really going in with mono light stuff where all you need is either Shadow Knight Pyllis or, like, Dark Corvus. You have those two units. Basically, you just protect it in some way with a damage mitigator, in this case Eaton, and then also have Roana on the field for any and all magic for friends, or anytime you miss against Savior Adin, any shit like that. Oh, cool, Shazam, you're just pretty much covered. You're going to be healing everything that you just took from the Roana just because Vigilant Eye is that fucking broken. And if you don't have Shadow Knight Pyllis and you have DC, well, Dark Corvus is just essentially going to be hit non-fucking-stop. At this point, he would more than likely have Devil's Descent. Use your Devil's Descent, kill your Savior Adin now. Now it's just a matter of, okay, tank the hits from Moon Bunny, tank the hits from Mercedes here, and you should be good. Because she's going to have attack buff, whenever she uses S2, that's 2 attacks into you. And it's also free healing from Vigilant Eye Roana. And also because Eaton's there, he also has... wow, what the fuck is the name of it? The artifact that makes crits not do as much damage. Shit, sorry, this stuff's hard to fucking remember. We have way too much shit to remember in this fucking game. But basically, just those two things in general, Eaton and Roana together, are just a fucking death nail for teams like this. And then if you have Shadow Knight Pyllis, cool, any and all counterattacks, any and all additional attacks, any and all of that fucking bullshit. Okay, cool. It does even less damage into you. And if you have Dark Corvus, which I highly suggest because he is the king of Guild Wars, easily one of the best fucking units in the entire goddamn game whenever it comes to Guild War, the only weakness that motherfucker even has is injury, period. It's the only thing that can fucking stop him. And after that, well, hey, you still have Shadow Knight Pyllis that you could also use, and hey, she doesn't have that injury weakness because she functions off of defense. But the thing that really sucks about Shadow Knight Pyllis is if you want to play her like a real Giga Chad motherfucker, you need that oh-so-wonderful collab limited artifact, which straight up doesn't fucking exist, called Rocket Punch. Now, if you have that, cool. You just kind of like grind the whole team down. For whatever reason, I straight up wasn't autoing this when I really, really absolutely could. But hey, let's get that dual attack, throw this bitch into the Shadow Realm, and are you ready for the fun shit? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to fucking anxiety. So, we have Lilias, we have Senya, and then we also have ae-KARINA. Probably one of the most annoying goddamn units in the entire fucking game to fight. So, what's our battle plan? What we're going to do is we're going to have Troublemaker Crozet, we're going to protect a unit, and then we're also going to have Laia. So this way we have 2 greens covered, so ae-KARINA will go into our last remaining unit. This is going to be Troublemaker Crozet, who's also going to be on a fair amount of effect resist, so he shouldn't be hit by death breaks. Now the thing that I was struggling to figure out was how I actually wanted to build this team format. I didn't know if I wanted to protect Destina or if I wanted to protect Laia. The correct answer was actually protecting Laia. But I was just thinking in the back of my mind, well, Destina is the most important unit. If she goes down, we fucking lose. So this is why I went with this particular format. Now, why was I saying Laia is more important to protect? Well, the biggest reason why is Destina has far more defense to go with her HP, so she's going to ultimately be taking less damage, and the big, huge honking AoEs that are going to be coming in are going to be going into Laia first. So now we have Troublemaker Crozet, who's protecting a unit who's straight up not even being attacked. So that was like, you know, strike number 1 that was going up against me. Good news is, we still had Guardian Ice Crystals, so it was doing a fair amount of work. We have Laia, who's going to be doing cooldown reduction shenanigans, so we can play a little bit unsafe with Destina, and we can just kind of throw heals out. Which is why on her turn 1, you immediately saw me just throw out an S3. I would almost never do that, but because Laia's there who helps with cooldown reduction, that was the entire reason why I did it. Now, the next opportunity that I really get with Troublemaker Crozet, I think I'm going to use the S3. It's either going to be to cleanse. Okay, no, it's not to cleanse. But basically, any chance I use S3 now, I'm going to be using it on Laia, because this is where I've already realized my mistake of, okay, Laia's taking entirely too much fucking damage, and I was trying to go for like a small stun on Senya, because Senya is also going into my Laia, and this stuff is all really starting to stack up and do a lot of fucking damage. Now, thankfully for us, we check our turn order here, and we go in pretty slow because we don't want to make any fucking fat finger mistakes. But hey, Laia's primed and ready. Let's S2 her up. Cool. And now she's free to go in, and it's time to alleviate some fucking pressure. Because now that we're able to go into ae-KARINA, we'll soul burn this. I don't give a fuck. You're fucking dead. That's 27,000 fucking damage because of greater element advantage. Cool. So, we got a little bit of pressure off of our fucking hands here. Now all we have left is Lilias and Senya. Now, you could technically say, okay, cool, the match is won. And technically, you are right. But there is one other small factor that you do still have to pay attention to. It's the fact that Senya can absolutely hit my Laia, and Sweet Miracle only reduces debuff chances, like debuffs on the character by 1 turn, and that's every 3 or so turns. So, as you can imagine, this factor does indeed come up. Because right here, we're going to see the S3 coming in from Senya. And Shazam. So it hits me. So Sweet Miracle procs, and we still have Blind. So here I'm debating, do I go for it, or do I wait? So then I decide, you know what? Fuck it. Let's see how much goddamn damage we can do. Let's throw out this S3 and see what we do. Motherfucking 19,499 damage on a fucking miss. On a miss. So, basically, yeah, Laia's fucking broken. If you can make a way for her to just survive in a format and you can just pick her, throw her into a fucking comp, and if you have fucking cooldown reduction on top of that, hey, cool. The only thing that can fucking stop you at that point is injury. But basically, you saw right there where I said, like, hey, 20 turns later. The big thing about that was it was a whole bunch of nothing that was happening in between. The only thing you missed was, at one point, I used a soul burn on Destina to heal, because Destina's S1 soul burn heal is actually really, really strong. And like I said before, we're still going into a Lilias and Senya. It's not completely free at that point. You still have to pay attention and heal accordingly. But either way, woo! That was fucking fun. Now, full fucking disclosure. We're going into an Urban Shadow Choux, Abyssal Yufine, and an Ocean Breeze Luluca. I decided, hey, what if we go into this team with full fucking hard counter antis? Now, I initially thought, oh, I don't actually have confidence in this team. I don't know quite why I was feeling that way. Maybe I just thought, like, my Spirit Eye Celine wasn't fast enough, and I would just get surprise hit by something, and I would get hit multiple times, and then I would die. But basically, here's what's going on. We're just fast enough. We managed to get off the stuff that we need to do on Spirit Eye Celine, which, honestly, if you're concerned about speed, you should always have her on a speed set. I'm on a lifesteal set just because, hey, I like being able to recover every single thing that I can off of every hit. That's just me. I'm autistic like that. Call it whatever the fuck you want. But basically, we've already killed Abyssal Yufine once. And we have Solitaria there, so we're never ever going to have to deal with full focus Choux. So she's just going to be doing big damage occasionally on S3, but doesn't deal, like, you know, the big honking damage that will absolutely kill you. And we'll never have to see, like, the focus build. The other thing we'll never have to see build is Ocean Breeze Luluca's focus build. Because with that one, we never have to worry about the ice cream truck. And when we don't have to worry about the ice cream truck, well, Spirit Eye Celine is just fucking hunky-dory and doesn't have to give a remote fucking shit about anything. And because we already proved really early on in the match that the Abyssal Yufine was on Holy Sat, we don't have to worry about stupid shit like Elbrus Ritual Sword happening, because Elbrus and random counters would have really been the only thing that would have done us in and would have actually killed us. The other thing that would have been really, really bad is if, for example, the Urban Shadow Choux was not on crit. I've asked this question before, and I'm not sure what the answer is because I haven't tried it and I haven't seen it. But some people have said, like, if you run a 0 crit Urban Shadow Choux, it's not worth it, because if you're going into things like barriers, you'll struggle to break the barriers, and then your actual injury won't go through. But then it's just like, well, then just don't go into shit with barriers. And also, if the Urban Shadow Choux was on non-crit, then I wouldn't have anything really reliable in terms of, like, you know, Spirit Eye Celine to go into her, because that's, like, the only hole that I really see that feels very safe going into this. But hey, that's just me. Either way, Elvira's there. We basically were cucking Abyssal Yufine at the very, very fucking start. Not able to do fucking shit because, LOL, what is fighting spirit? Solitaria of the Snow is there to basically make fighting focus not fucking work. And we have Spirit Eye Celine there just in case Elvira was to ever go down. We also are able to provide a free extra turn of immortality. And it really, really does come in clutch, because you can't affect any of the S3 shenanigans when it comes to Elvira in terms of cooldown reduction or cooldown gain. But what you can do is you can just give her another turn of immortality via, you know, an outside source. And it kind of works. And now for the final match, well, unfortunately, it's nothing really special. It's essentially one of those earlier matches that we saw earlier, except instead of Mercedes, it's going to be Senya. And basically, it's quite literally the same shit. So here is an example of where I would probably use Unbound Knight Arowell instead of Eaton, because I'm dealing with a Senya who's going to possibly, you know, hit you with a provoke, hit you with a blind, things like that. And if that was to go into Eaton, that's just extra damage that he's going to be taking. That's going to be taking away from your Shadow Knight Pyllis, because you want the heals to be going into her from your Roana, and Roana is going to be on Celestine. So yeah, any and all heals, you want them to go into your Shadow Knight Pyllis, because, well, quite frankly, you never know just how hard the Savior Aiden's going to hit. You just don't know. She's either going to be on Sword of Cycling Seasons, or she's going to be on Charon's Artifact, and you honestly go into this and you never know. I've been seeing a lot of Sword of Cycling Seasons in the last little bit, but a lot of the times I always see Shepherd of the Hollow. whatever. I'll usually take a Shepherds of the Hollow because every time I see Savior Aiden, I always go into that bitch with a Shadow Knight Pyllis or a Dark Corvus. Because quite frankly, I have been hit one too many times by Savior Aidens that are like 280 speed or some shit. So then it's like anytime you're looking into that and you're not able to see what it is that you're actually fighting, okay, cool, my auxiliary lots just got fucking nuked out of existence on like turn 1 or any of that shit, because none of my other units are like faster than 260 or some shit. So anytime I see Savior Aiden, hey, it's either DC or it's Shadow Knight Pyllis, and DC is the only unit that I have that is built to straight up tank nukes, because I have him on Proof of Valor, and Proof of Valor just straight up makes it so you can survive just about goddamn near anything in the fucking game on like a turn 1 shenanigans, and you're just good to go. So hey, we've already killed the Savior Aiden, and now all that's left is Moon Bunny and then Senya. So hey, another full disclosure moment here. I straight up don't respect Senya. Anytime I have Shadow Knight Pyllis and I have Roana on the same team, I will fucking disrespect the ever-loving fuck out of her, and I just straight up won't care. Reason why is because Shadow Knight Pyllis, as we all know, she has a built-in kit for anytime counterattacks happen, anytime additional attacks happen, anytime all of that other fucking shit happens. You take damage from those formats, you take less damage. And then anytime those events also happen as well, Roana heals you. So then you're gaining essentially a pretty decent heal, along with taking negligible damage. And then not only that, but this Senya is also not rocking any ER. So because there's no ER, well, guess what? Unbound Knight Arowell is just going to fucking strip any opportunity that she gets, because her strips are on her S1 and her S3. S3 is a complete strip. S1 is a 2 buff strip, and it usually is, sometimes you're bound to get 1. And hey, man, that's pretty much it. Because like anytime I see Senya or Senya's alone, anything like that, I just go in, don't respect, hit on auto, and just fucking go. Make a sandwich, get a drink. And ladies and gentlemen, that be it. All right. So yeah, this was fun. It was okay. You know what? I'll be honest. It was surprisingly a lot more fun than I thought it would be, because like we're currently in a fucking awful meta. Like the meta sucks dick right now. It's fucking terrible. But like either way, like anytime you're able to find those small holes where you can actually make something work, it is pretty fun whenever you're able to make some shit work. And I am also like kind of on the same fence with like a lot of other people who are looking at units like, say, Laia, for example. I mean, hey, this is me. I don't play RTA, but I've heard Laia is like in like literally every fucking game in RTA is what I've heard. It's like, wow, that sounds like fun. So it's like, yeah, I'm glad I ain't doing that shit. But oh god, I've already lost my fucking my train of thought. But like, yeah, it's just hopefully the balance patches that are coming, they're fucking coming, and when they do, they will make some kind of an impact. I'm kind of looking forward to the Falconer Glory buffs, just because I'm very curious to see if the resource reduction is actually going to make a dent in anything. I'm a little concerned that it's not going to be very helpful against things like Abyssal Yufine, just because when you hit into Abyssal Yufine, yeah, she'll take 40% damage. Oh, she'll take 40 like resource reduction points off, but you still, if she counters, she'll gain 20 back, and then I think she also gains some form of resource when you hit her. So then it feels like if you get a counterattack, it's just going to be a net positive. And then, like, you know, Navy Captain Landy, you should keep her covered. Like, Falconer Glory should handle Navy Captain, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, look, it's the end of the video. Hey, if you guys like this video, hit like and all that dumb shit. If you want to see more of this stuff, go ahead and hit subscribe. Ooh, woo.